I'm sure it is weird to be told, like, can you just be more natural on camera? Can you just be more yourself? I'm like, this is myself. I use my hands. You know, because they want you to, like, not use your hands, try to, like, not use your eyebrows, and just use your eyes. But not, like, crazy. Like, not like Tyra Banks, like smizing kind of eyes. Do you ever watch America's Next Top Model? It always cracks me up. She'd be, like, critiquing their photos, and she's like, in your photo, you weren't smizing. So, see, you were like this. And you need to be like, I'm like, thanks, Tyra. I love Tyra. In college, me and my friends would watch America's Next Top Model, and we would all like dress up and do mock competitions, but it would be like ridiculous. So we'd be like in the shower with like full evening gowns on and holding like a toilet paper roll. And, and then we had, was it December 4th, was like Tyra Banks' birthday, and so we had Tyra Day. And we would dress up and like take poses, and even my guy friend Will had this beautiful, he wore my yellow summer dress. We're all just like posing, and every year we'll like we'll resurface that picture and be like, this happened. So yeah. Yes.
First thing I want to say is thank you for all your hard work on the Danganronpa series.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I have 2 questions. One is, when did they actually, like in the production, was it explained to you just what you were getting into, just how many voices, how much what these characters were and what they really were, and just how many, especially in Junko's, just how many different voices you were going to need to do, and what, if you could talk a little bit about what that was like, having to craft all those identities?
Well, if anybody hasn't played Danganronpa, I guess cover your ears, or just sing Lady Gaga, I don't know. Well, I mean, unless you don't plan on playing it, then just listen, I guess. So, unfortunately, I found, like, I knew when I auditioned, because part of the audition was like, you have to try to do all these different voices. So for that game, they played us, they sent us an MP3 with like the Japanese reference clips to kind of give you an idea of like, this is how all over the place they are. And so I auditioned for, for Toko and Genocide, Toko and Junko, like, they basically said, they're like, there's this personality, and this personality, and this personality, and this personality. And so I kind of I have a lot of voices in my repertoire because I'm a nerd and I'm always just like coming up with stuff. Like I'll order food at McDonald's in like weird accents. And in my head I'm like, I'm getting away with murder. And the person at the window is like, I honestly do not care. Although one time I was singing Let It Go in a Cookie Monster voice when I was in the drive-thru because I was getting a McFlurry. And I was really excited and I was waiting and the line was really long. I didn't realize my window was open. There you go, here's another one of those. And so I'm like I'm in the drive-thru and I was like, let it go, can't hold it back anymore, cookies. And I kept going and it's like, the cookies never bother me anyway. And then I realized like the window was open and the girl just has my McFlurry and she's like, okay. Anyway, back to your original question though about Danganronpa. So they basically said there's like, she's got a teacher personality, but they didn't necessarily say what it should sound like, but I kind of was able to gather like from the tone. So that was fun because I like to be able to always show people all the different voices I can do. But it was interesting, and I still have like asked at NAS, I'm like, why did you do that? With me and Aaron Fitzgerald split Toko and Junko, and like in the casting process, they're like, so you're gonna be this, and then you're gonna be these voices, and you're gonna be these voices, and we were like, that's confusing. So I guess they just wanted enough diversity in the voices or something, so it's like they sounded so different. I'm not exactly sure why, because it's confusing to be like, well, I share the part with this person. But she's awesome, so follow her on Twitter. Like I tried to find it on YouTube, like when it first came out, and the clips I saw, I mean, in my head, I'm like, yeah, like Sully and Prom would be sexy, but just because he's so pretty. And isn't Matthew Mercer his voice actor?
Yeah.
So, who's going to say no to that? Matthew's going to think that's so awkward. But then I also thought it was kind of funny with Sully and, was it Virion? he's like the one who, he seems to get on her nerves a lot, and I feel like that would be kind of amusing. I don't think it would be a good match, but I think once they're married in the game, you can't like unmarry them. Oh, so I guess I probably shouldn't do it as a joke. Because it's like you're married for life. Sully hates me. Yeah. So, but I guess there's not really like a one walkthrough that I could do. That would take years of my life. Anyway, yes. They're doing taiko drumming over there? Oh, okay. I'm not sure, because she's 14. Well, it would probably be close to the Sailor Jupiter voice that I've been using, because I guess they're like the same age. Which is weird to me, because I still don't see the Sailor Moon girls as middle schoolers. In my head, they're at least like high school. They're like 18. But in the show, it's like they're middle school. Although technically, I still had a deep voice in middle school, so I guess we can sound like that. But yeah, so like the voice I use is kind of just like a little bit, it's similar to mine. It's kind of, I guess with Jupiter, I just can't even remember what I'm doing anymore. I'm like, I've been working on different things lately. But yeah, it's kind of just, she's got more of a smile than I do, and she's a little bit more higher pitched, but not a lot. I'm trying to think of like a line. It helps me like to get into a voice, it helps me to like think of a line of that character to get me into that character. Yeah, it's usually something like, he looks just like my ex. You know, although that's definitely a much more breathy version of it. That's the cool thing about Jupiter too, is that she's got her times where she's like, he likes, you know, he's got the same kind of nose as my ex-boyfriend. But then there's also the times where she's like, you know, Supreme Thunder Dragon, and I'm not gonna yell it, I'm gonna blow out the mic. But it's just like, it's cool to be able to go to like the deep parts of my voice, but then also be really breathy. So, yeah, I feel like that's kind of a lame answer, but it'd probably be similar to my Sailor Jupiter voice. So if you haven't checked it out, it's on Hulu. Only it's limited. I think they're taking it down second weekend of June, because they want you to buy the DVDs that are coming out in July. So check them out. Anyway, bring thunder in your backyard and kicking your brother or something, and then like, and then have somebody else who's like, "What is this show? What is this Sailor Moons?" So I was definitely like, everything lined up perfectly, and it's awesome. But even then, I don't think I started recording until like September. That's how, because we're redubbing classic Sailor Moon, for those of you who didn't know. So there's Sailor Moon Crystal, which we're doing, which is the new, it's like the 2014 like reboot of the series. And then we're redubbing the classic series, and it's unedited, because the original dub was very heavily edited. So you're no longer cousins anymore, guys. Congratulations. So yeah, it was definitely nerve-wracking, because Jupiter doesn't come in until 25 in the original dub, like episode 25. So it takes months to get that far. So everybody else was recording, because in my head, you can still get fired. Like after you've recorded something, you can still get fired after you've done a couple sessions. So it's like months of like, I just want to get in there and know that I suck, and then they'll just fire me and I can get this over with.
You don't suck.
Yeah, well, thank you. But yeah, after Anime Expo, it all became more real, because we weren't allowed to tell anybody beforehand. So, you know, in like April, we found out we were in it. We couldn't say anything until July, when they announced us as the cast. And then after that, I felt a little safer, because I'm like, well, that would suck for them if they recast me now. That would just be embarrassing if they make a big hoopla about the cast, and they're like, so Amanda Miller's no longer Sailor Jupiter. So, anyway. I know that wasn't your original question. You're asking me what's my favorite show, and I just went on a tangent. Does anybody else have any shows that you're like, they think I should watch? I mean, obviously I like magical girl shows, but I also like dark things.
Yes. Hellsing?
If you like Revolution Girl Utena, the director did do 2 other series, Mamoru Penguin Drum. He just finished one called Yuri Kuma Arashi. I think they should both be on Hulu.
Okay.
And for what it's worth, he actually directed Utena after they getting kicked off Sailor Moon. And Utena started out as nothing but a collection of all the things he wanted to do in Sailor Moon that no one would let him. So from season 3 on, it's not exactly Utena, but it's where all that stuff got started.
That's a really good tidbit of information. Thank you.
Yeah, you basically just kind of went, okay, fine, I'll make my own magical girls show with race cars and lesbians. In fact, forget the magical girl element, swords.
That's That's a really good summary of like, I'm going to make a magical girl show, but with race cars and lesbians. And lesbians that turn into race cars in the movie.
Yeah.
The movie was interesting.